actually. I didn't see it.
Recording. Okay, so this is the book, guys, in case you watch the replay and you can't remember. This is the book to help you with webinars, okay? And this is, I mean, there is a few different formulas, but that has a very, very extensive, and it goes through, it's actually really, really good, to be honest. And it goes through the hero's journey about how to do that in the webinar. It goes through how to really, you know, how to turn your skeptics into believers and all of that. Like, it's really good. The other thing that for you particular, Nikki, and so obviously at the start of your business, you want to get a few things set up like we spoke about. You want to get somewhere for people to book in and pay and all of that stuff. You want to use a couple of social media platforms. From there, then you would start to build a list. So when you have time to build the list, and this, maybe you get to do this, maybe you can go on, I use Kartra at the moment. What was the one I used to use beforehand? Was it Monkey? Is there a Monkey one? Is there a Monkey? MailChimp, that's it. Oh my God. Yeah, that's it. MailChimp. I did use that for a while because there is a free version, and there was also another one that there's quite a few autoresponders. They're called autoresponders, and you can Google that up. And I don't recommend people go on Kartra until they're earning decent money, because Kartra is $100 US a month for even just for the platform I've got, which is US. So it's, you know, it's not a necessarily, you go with what's cheapest first. You can do other, like, there's lots of different ones, but they're the ones that I've used, and you can just even ask, you know, ask in groups, what is it people use, what is it like. Then once you've got that, then you start to build up an email list. And the reason that that's important is because if the worst thing happens and you get your social media shut down or something happens, you know, maybe there's a virus on social media, I shouldn't even say that out there.
Please,
you should have their names and everything written down on your physical list anyway, but if you don't, and something happens like that, then of course you don't have any way to contact them. So this is why an email list is still very vital. So some people will say email's dead, and I know that emails do not get opened hardly anything like they used to, but if you've got them on your list, at least you've got some level of contact. You still need that email. So maybe even think about maybe the next step is,
it was important to do it. Like I was like because I was kind of at the same school of thinking, like, oh, like emails are a bit like, I don't open hardly any of mine, you know. But okay, that's good for that clarification. Like it's like your hard drive.
That's why people need to build a list. That's the next step. So in the next step for you, Nikki, I would be thinking about how can I set up an autoresponder, and how can I get it so that when they download my freebie, they go onto my list. And when they have a free session with me or free, you know, coaching call, whatever it may be, they go onto my list. When, you know, anytime. So anytime anyone downloads anything of mine, whether it's a freebie or they go on, even if they go in my group, that's why I ask for an email. I physically have to put that in my autoresponder though, and then they're on my list. So when people ask me, do you have, and obviously the more people you have on your list, the better, but you don't want to get too wound up with numbers like in the groups. Like, you want quality, not necessarily quantity. So if you have 500 people on your list, but they're good, they're ideal clients, they're, you know, everything that you want, that's really amazing. But if you have 50,000 people on your list and none of them even look at any of your emails, and they're not even your ideal client, you know, it's kind of like, obviously the more the better. But
numbers, like I found that even with even with the freebie that I've given out, when I go for follow-ups, they'll be like, oh no, I haven't got to it yet, I'll let you know, like, you know. And I was just like, oh, okay, like it's interesting watching that.
It is. That's the human condition.
You have like your core, like, oh yeah, they're like you said, like they're really ready for it, and they consume it as soon as you give it to them. They're like, oh my God, awesome, and then rah. And then you have other ones who like, oh, I just want that sitting there for when I need it. Like,
do you know what that is? What? Do you know why that is? And this is why selling higher end gets better results. They haven't got any skin in the game.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have observed that through a different process, but I'm like, it's
this is why when I started selling higher end, people getting way more results. So this is why I'm Donata, even about this course being $1,000 or just, you know, 997, whatever it is, because I was like, are people going to actually take it seriously? Are people going to do it? So mind you, like when I first did my first ever course, the money manifesting course, I sold it for like, I don't know, because it was my first ever and I was new and all the rest of it. Content's still absolutely phenomenal and amazing, but I sold it for like $50 or $100 or, you know, really cheap. And then same thing, I was like, people aren't using it. They're not, and it's, I mean, if you use that properly, all of those processes, and you actually really started to embody it, you could be making, we could be manifesting millions, you know, like it's the same process, whether it's here or here, but people were not actually taking it seriously. So I ummed and ahed even about just doing little specials for people like the $50 one at the moment. I'm only doing that because of the climate and the fact of the matter is that people need it. That's not something I would normally do at all. But that's one of the reasons that it's better to charge a little bit more, but you have to build up because of the fact of your own nervous system and all of that. But B, it's better to do a full-on package instead of one-offs as much as possible. And people are gonna, you know, if you paid $10,000 for a one-on-one coach and she said to you, you had to do this, this, and this, I bet you're gonna do it. Whereas if you paid someone $100 an hour and that's something that you're used to doing, it's not anything out of the ordinary, you're kind of like, yeah, oh, I didn't get to that this week. Oh, sorry about that. You know, like that's why higher ticket stuff is very, very good for a lot of us. So that's okay. That's pretty normal for people to do that with a freebie. Yeah. Invite them on for, maybe you even want to do a follow-up of some other description and say, oh, this is also, actually, this has just come to me. So this is also why people will say this masterclass is only available for the next 3 days. There's only a limited amount of people because otherwise they just won't watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll have the best intentions to watch it next week, or but they'll just completely forget about it.
Yeah, like I do it. Like I do stuff and I'm like, oh man, like I really want to know that, but you're just not in the position. It's all like, you know, timing, universal timing is a thing. It really is. So like,
yeah.
You know,
have they got shiny penny syndrome, or do they really need it?
Yeah, right now, like when you're, thank you.
And then you want to actually qualify them on the call. Are you interested right now? And if they say, and this is actually one of my clients who's she's a hypnotherapist actually, and she does a few different modalities, one of my one-on-one clients. She actually said in her calls, and this is working very well for her now, like I recommended her do it, she'd get on a call and say, for example, someone's going to give up smoking. Straight away she'll be asking, so what out of 10, how much do you want to give up smoking? Is it 10, like that's it, I've had enough, I really want to do it? Is it 5, I'm thinking about it, everyone wants me to do it, I probably should, you know? And if they're not at least at a 9 or a 10, she goes, okay, I'm just going to hang up now because you're not ready, and that's cool. You come and see me when you're at a 9 or a 10, and then we're going to do it. Because if people don't want to do it, no matter what happens, they ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
If people are not actually wanting to get, you know, 5 clients a day or whatever it may be, doesn't matter what anyone tells them. It does not matter. They are not going to do it. We have ultimate control, and this is why taking responsibility is so huge, right? So just be aware of that. If people are saying, yes, I want this, but they're not really wanting it, then don't waste your time or theirs. And it's not about judging them or anything like that. They might be ready in 6 months' time. They might be ready in 12 months' time. And that's cool. So you keep the relationship going, maybe not as, you know, often, but just checking in and, you know, all of that stuff. And then they'll be ready. Like a lot of my clients come to me after quite a few months because it's $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 package, depending on what it is one-on-one. And they want to know if I'm still around. They want the safety and they want to see more of me before they can commit to that. And I get that. I'm the same. Actually, no, I tell a lie. I am an impulse buyer.
I'm what you described.
I had one call. I had one call. I've seen this person maybe 3 times, and I was like, "Yep, I want that. $10,000. Yep, bang."
I don't know.
But,
can you be both?
okay.
Like, I was going to say, with you, I was like, nah, okay, I know, that's it.
Well, depending, like if it resonates, then I'm on. But if it's like, but I wouldn't go from 0 to a $10,000 package with somebody if I hadn't already, like my first ever coaching that I paid for was $2,000. I think it was 8 or 10 weeks or something, you know, years ago. And that was a decent amount of money. But it, you know, once I'd done that, then it wasn't such a big deal if I did a $3,000 one next time or a 5. So you can sort of see how we go up and how they go up. Because money is like $10,000 to someone is completely different than to someone else. So if you're already earning $200,000 a year, $10,000 package is not a really big deal. If you're only earning $40,000 a year, a $10,000 package is massive. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons. Does that help? And if you want more information about what autoresponder to do and how to do that, Andrea is amazing. Okay, and just post it in the group here, and she'll actually help you, and she'll give you some tips. She knows all of that stuff. She's very, very good tech-wise.
Thank you.
I had absolutely no idea about any of that stuff, and I do my own Kartra to like send out emails and all that, but not actually like full-on membership stuff. It's just like that's not my that doesn't bring me that much joy. So I give that to somebody else. So yeah, she does a lot of that stuff for me because I'm just terrible at it. And I could definitely learn it, but do I want to spend my time learning that, or do I want to spend my time coaching and healing and doing the stuff that I love more so? And when you've got the time and money to do it, then absolutely, definitely outsource. But right now, get the stuff that's simple and easy. Okay. Who's next? Who's got a question? What's everyone up to? Hands up.
What am I up to?
Go,
so I watched this week's training. I haven't really done too much with it. I'm kind of stuck on the inviting people to the group thing. I've got a few people, but like not much going on in there other than me posting.
How have they, that's pretty normal. That is pretty normal. You can have a group of, you're going to notice that no matter what, a similar thing to what Nikki said, no matter how many people you have, there's only a certain amount of people that will participate.
Right.
Most people are happy just to sit back and watch.
Yeah.
Most people are too fearful to actually participate. But that does not mean that they're not watching. That does not mean that they're not taking it all in. So just be aware of that. With your group, how many have you got so far?
I think only like 9.
Okay. Are you inviting every one of your clients in? Have you invited every one of your clients in there?
Not yet. I need to do that. I'm not
message them.
I'm not friends with most of them on Facebook. Most of my clients have come from other places. So that's part of it.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Like referrals and things like that. Some of them I'm friends with, but not all of them. I think the ones I'm friends with aren't weight loss clients. So there's that. So I'm not going to invite someone that came for smoking to a weight loss focused group. So
the other way to do that is, of course, anyone that showed any interest, personally message them. And are you doing all of the strategies to build up your Facebook? How many people do you have on your Facebook?
I think like 4,100.
400. 4,000. Oh, sorry, 4,100. Okay. Yeah. So you have a ton of people on Facebook. Are you doing any process to clean out and reinvigorate the
I have been cleaning out more lately just because I've been on Facebook more with, being at home. So I'm kind of working on that. But
yes, because if you've got 4,100 people on your Facebook, you should be able to get a lot of engagement to a degree. Yeah. And if it's not getting as much engagement, then you want to look at the words, how you're presenting, what is it, the message that you're getting across. And again, that's a lot to do with the copy.
Yeah.
Like last night, I did a Instagram live with a chick in the UK. She must be in England or something. And anyway, and I told her, like, I am a typical Australian. I use a lot of slang. Like, I don't do it on purpose. It's just the way I talk because I'm from the country as well. It's just the way it is. And, we got on, we're having a conversation, and straight up, I was like, yeah, we've run out of dunny paper, and she was like, and we're like, well, that's what we call it here, And but I didn't say that to her. I'm like, oh well, and at the same time, I use a lot of that language in my everyday life, such as and all that stuff. I do actually say that all the time anyway. I know that's probably bogan, but I do. And so I'm like, I'm just going to have to show up authentically as me, and that's part of the copy. That's part of the messaging in a lot of ways. I always say, hey beautiful, hey hun, hey gorgeous. Like that's how I often say, hey babe, to just about anybody. So so if I say that stuff in my normal everyday life, show that online as well, because
Right.
people, and it takes a little bit of time, because of course when we first start showing up, we're like, oh my God, people are judging me and blah, blah, blah. But I guarantee you that the one person that's judging you more than anything is yourself.
Yeah.
And if other people are judging you, it's all about them anyway. It's not about you. So just, I did notice on your Facebook, now let me just have a look. I could share the screen, but I'll have a look on there. I'm going to have a quick little Facebook skim over each and every one of you, actually, just to have a look at, oh, that's Steve. Thanks, Steve. I want to actually have a look at your profile, okay? So let me have a look. So we can do a little bit of
It's like
research.
exam time.
What did you say?
I just said it's like exam time. Did we do the first? Wasn't that like in the first ever that thing? I remember thinking, oh shit, I'd never been told that before, and it makes so much sense.
Yeah. So how many times are you posting as well? You don't want to overpost.
I've been posting like 3 times a day or so.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times is max. Don't post more than that. They won't see it. So you want to post like, where's my 353 rule? Where did I write that? Taming the ego, 353. I've written it up here. Do I still have it up here, or did I move it? Bugger. Usually I like to keep stuff. If you've seen this side of my room, you'd see that it's all just plastic with stuff. Let me just check if I've got it here. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me get it down so I can read it, because I just put it up there. Oops. Oops. Oh my God, I ripped it. That's okay. I should make it look a bit neater anyway. Okay, so 3. This is a really good rule of thumb. It's the 3-2-1 rule. Write this down, because I don't think I've got it anywhere else besides the scribble that I had on my piece of paper that I've ripped now, okay? So you want 3 value Vicky posts.
Sorry, 3 value what?
Value Vicky posts hat on, and like provide value. What are they interested in, passionate about?
Cutting in and out, so we missed some of that.
What was that, sorry?
Cutting in and out, so...
you want the 3-2-1 rule. So 3 times a week, you want a value Vicky post.
Value what?
So I call it a value Vicky post. Like lots of value.
As in a lady Vicky.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
okay, yep.
As in
Just
a what?
Value Vicky, like a value Vicky post.
What's Vicky?
Just a name.
Oh,
Just
okay.
because I'm being
reference what's happening.
Just because I'm a smart ass, and that's what I call it.
Could be Vanessa or Virginia.
Exactly. Put your value hat on, and you want to provide value. So what are they interested in? What is because of course you want people that resonate with you. Are you really woo-woo? Do you need to add lots of stuff in? Are you really about coaching and helping people get money? Are you really about helping people get, podcasts, or what's, all of that stuff? So family, parenting, health, mindset, sport, lessons, relatability, your own struggles. So you can start with I remember when, or my challenges started when, and you're really educating them, and you're helping them to start to see your authentic self. Actually, I haven't done one of these for a while. This is good to remember.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 documentation Debbie posts.
Debbie! Now I get it. It's okay, I'm on board.
So taken in the present moment. So present success, present results, work ethics, things like that. What's going on right now for you? What's something you're celebrating, and documenting, if you're on a health journey or building a business journey, all of that stuff. And then maybe once every week, you want to do a sales post. You don't want to be doing and when I say sales, you're not like putting
Sales Sally?
You're like,
Sales Sally?
Yeah, Sales Sally post.
Who's your girl? Who's your ass girl? Come on. Don't hold that on us now.
We'll call her Sally. And that's a really good rule of thumb. And then you want to be probably once a week, you want to clean out any old debris of old Facebook people that have never commented, you've never really seen, or if you find their profile and you look back through and you're going, oh, they're really quite negative, or they're really into following the news and what the government says. I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got to follow what they say to do, but you know what I mean? And you're like,
yeah,
they're not my person. And it's not a personal attack, but just release.
That's who I've been cleaning out.
Yeah, me too.
you know that they don't hold a similar value to you, and you know that they're probably
Exactly.
it's not that you want your personal profile to be all about business, but you still want people on there. I mean, if you have a business, you're using Facebook and your social medias for a reason, right? It's just, even though it's not the rules, that's what you do. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
So if they're never going to be your client, if they're never going to add value to you and your Facebook profile, if they're not have any of your values and you can sense that, just get rid of them. Do a big clean out. And if they have never commented, never liked, never, any of that stuff, that's another way that you might just want to clear out. Okay, and then you can add people in. So go into the groups that you know have your ideal clients. And so, for example, if it's weight loss, maybe, and you don't want to like go looking for people, because like you do want to look for people, but you don't want to hound them. But you want to go into that people are in. So if people are wanting weight loss and health, you go into the weight loss and health groups, and then you'd be like, oh, this person looks really positive, and sometimes literally the face will just jump out at you because you're like, yeah, I need to friend this person. Whether she becomes a client or not doesn't matter, but at the same time, set the intention that the right people are going to be made, very easily. And then friend request them, whether they actually, and especially if they've got friends in common. I did show you that in one of the things, didn't I? Did I show you how to do that?
How to what?
So how to go into a group, and then there's a little, I'll see if I can share the screen. Just wait a minute. It might not let me do this. Maybe I could do it on this screen. Wait a minute. I'll show you how to do this, all right? I'm pretty sure it's the same. I actually stopped getting new friends a while ago because, like I said, I had so many people to follow up with. But it doesn't mean that I won't go back through. And sometimes it's like a clean out, just like a declutter to allow new people in and allow to manifest. We want to declutter that as well. So let me see if I can, whoops. Okay. Let's have a look here. Pull that down and pull this up. Okay, and then if I can share with you, can I share it? I'll share with you this screen just so I can give you a bit of a look. Okay, so are you sharing? Am I sharing? Can you see the screen? Just some normal stuff?
Yep.
My normal Facebook screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm going to go into, say I'll go into Curve and Ray Graduates, not that I ever go in there to get clients, but if I go into a particular group and this is my ideal client group, I know everyone here wants to get what I got, whatever. So go into the groups that resonate with you. Then I would go into, let's have a look here, members. Did I say author there? Author, I might change that. Okay, so then admins and moderators, and then friends. So these are people that I'm already friends with in this group. And then see all friends. So members with things in common. See that one?
Okay.
And then if they've already got members with friends in common, I mean, Luke, I don't really work with men, so I wouldn't necessarily, Gail, actually I know Gail, I didn't know she'd done that. She's actually local, I might friend her. Right, so then I would go see more. I'm pretty sure, see your friends, see more, see more. There you go. Anyone that looks like my type of person, then I can click on their profile. If I like them, add friend. Oh, yeah, okay, someone's jumping out at me, add friend. They might not add you, that's okay. So if you do that maybe 10 of them a day, you're going to very quickly get a lot of people, good people on your list. On your Facebook profile. And then if you're showing up regularly with like a Value Vicky post and a Documentation Debbie post and all of that stuff, people are going to go, oh yeah, this is what she does, that type of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So is there anything else on here that I can help you with? I mean, I'm not like a Facebook expert, but I know how to do certain things. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I use all the time. Okay, in my normal group, Abundance Inspired Entrepreneurs, obviously, excuse me, I say to do this when you're building a group. I already have 1,400, 1,500 people in there. I'm not really necessarily looking to build that, but at the same time, I am going to go through and clean that one out very soon again. I've done that a few times because it was 3,000 people at one stage. So if you notice, I don't know whether, please welcome, yeah, okay. When I had a moment last night, I finally got back into doing a little, okay, there's someone in there that's doing stuff they shouldn't be. They're not listening to the rules, but anyway, I'll do that next time. So then I did a welcome post for people. And when I did that welcome post, you can kind of see what I did for people. So Donna and Jennifer. And then today on my list of to-dos, I'm actually friend requesting everyone on that list in my group because I want to be friends, and whether they accept or not, at least they can see that and they're more likely to see the message. Then I'm going to personally message each and every one of them and say, welcome to the group. I see that you're interested in abundance and building a business. How are you going right now? That's it. You know, how are you right now? I hope you're okay, or something like that, just to connect with them. And then if they will answer, yeah, I'm in the group, I'm done this or whatever. Once they answer, then I will send another message. If they don't answer, I won't send them another message, possibly, unless it's like 2 months down the track and they've never responded on anything. I'll be like, so are you in the group? Do you want to stay in? You know, so at the same time, I don't want all dead weight. So in that group, I just welcome, follow the rules, do the posts, tag them all, very special limited offer, put it in there, blah, 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 or you know, nice and easy. Okay. And technically, especially when you're building, you should do that once a week. Right? Give them a no-brainer offer in there, so that's how you get someone to buy from the first time. I'd usually put in there either the 7-day intensive at a cheaper rate, a little bit of a bonus offer, or I would put in there instead of a 1 hour session, that's usually like I do once off 1 hour session for people with $300 or something. I would put it like half price for people that are just starting out or something like that, just for once off. But and at the moment, obviously, I'm just doing the little healings, but normally I'd give them something that they have an opportunity to buy from straight up. And it's a no-brainer. It's like a half price. It's something very small, but even if it's like an ebook for $5 or something that's getting them in the habit of buying from you. Okay. So I do have that in that group, in that 7-day intensive, I believe, how to do that. Yeah, but if you have any more questions on that, make sure you message me. So what will happen is there is so much content and like all these different ahas in all of this content, 7-day intensive and this one and everything else you've got, especially if you've got time, go back over it, because it's like when you're watching a really intricate movie, all of a sudden you watch it again and you go, oh, that's there, oh, that's there. Because if you're not ready to do that next step in your business, your subconscious mind is going to let you, it's going to come in and then out. You're not going to hold it in. You're going to forget about it almost. So go back over and watch it again and go, oh, yeah, I've done that. I don't do that. Oh, there's something I haven't been doing. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of this stuff's in there, but whether it's, I know there's.
And also, I think the beginning stuff, I kind of rushed through it to get to this. So I want to go back.
That 7-day intensive stuff is very, very practical. And you can go through that probably about 5 times and you'll still pick up new stuff. There's a ton of stuff in there.
And now that my schedule is slightly more relaxed, I have time to do that more.
Yes, so. And it's just going to help you know, like, what are my money-making activities? Am I actually doing this every day? Are my posts actually jumping out, and are they hitting people where they need to be hitting them or not hitting them, you know? So also, I think for Melissa, I think you're not doing too bad. Let me have a look here. I was looking at your profile. Interesting and crazy time. Double workouts every day. Yeah, awesome. Okay, Zoom, $50 special. Okay. So, and this is what I made a mistake of as well, because I rushed. When this first got downloaded, oh my God, I've got to do something for people that, you know, is way more affordable and just available for everybody, so I can help this. It was really because the collective consciousness was really down, and I was like, oh, this is terrible, you know, this is where other things start to happen. So this is where I got downloaded to do that little offer for people once off sort of thing. Instead of actually really thinking about it, I kind of rushed it because I was almost feeling that panic, like, oh my God, I've got to help these people. So I panicked a bit and just put it out there. Now, if you think about it, you'd be like, stressed, overwhelmed, don't know what to do, are you feeling lost? Let me do this special thing for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, get them where they're at right now. What are they feeling right now? What are they doing right now? Stuck in front of the you know, television or the computer and you're just like, I'm so stressed or whatever, let me help you. I'm going to do this limited time thing for this special, unique experience because, you know, I'm called to help and whatever it might be, right? So you really want to get them where they're at. Is this how you're feeling? Question, and then the offer, and then the outcome. The outcome may be, you know, within one session you will feel calmer, your nervous system will come on board, whatever it may be, right? That's the sort of way you want to do it as well. So, I mean, we're all human. We're not always going to do it perfectly, but if it's not resonating and you're not getting clicks and you're not getting people booking, go back over and review and do the refining work, and then change it for the next time. Push fear away by focusing. 2 big announcements. So with your videos, when you're doing a live video, use some of the really like outlandish sort of titles, and that will help people actually stop and look. Because you think about when you're on Facebook, you just go, and if nothing stands out, they're just going to be, and especially because there's no pretty backgrounds, it's just what you're home in most of the time, you know. So be aware of that. So maybe even like, are you ready for this, or the world is changing, or something that's going to get people going, you know. That's the marketing side. Remember, marketing is shallow, but the work we do is deep. All right, so now I'm going to look at Melissa, the other Melissa now, because you come up next, because I was looking at Melissa. Okay, let's have a look at your personal. So went to your. There we go. Is it? No. Wait a minute. What have I done here? Okay. How can I get you just you? It's going to your page. There we go. Okay, so now 556 followers. That's not too bad. That's good. Hi, everyone. Yesterday you had a group. So many changes. Everyone do a run. Wait a minute. I've been working with some lovely clients clearing out. Okay. So again, that's probably not hitting them right where you want. So you want to hit right up. So let's have a look. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I love seeing. Remember that sometimes I feel like this might be a bit more about you, and we want to make it really about them. It's nice to give them a little bit of like what's going on, like webinars and fiery curry. Yep, beautiful, like that. That's many uses of the washing pile. Okay, awesome. And that's something for Brenda. Oh, awesome! I didn't see that. See, I didn't see that one. How many times are you posting a day?
Oh, 3, 4 maybe.
Yeah, don't post more than 2, maybe sometimes 3. Oh, that mass population thing. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
I only ever
be careful not to share too many people's stuff. Clear the air. Okay, so special offer, 30 minutes, clear the air. So then you would change that offer up a little bit. Do the same offer, but change up the wording. Maybe you need to go fear, stress, feeling nervous, you know, read down below. I've got something for you, you know, and all of that. Get them where they're at. Multitasking, beautiful. Yes.
I only ever seem to get between 2 and 4 likes on most things. So
yeah, no. Oh no, that's okay. It doesn't mean that people aren't seeing them. You don't need to get a ton of likes, but I'm just saying if you're feeling like you have to get likes because people are not seeing them, it's not always the case. People are still seeing them. And I don't know about you, but how many times do we just, it doesn't mean we don't see it and we don't like it. We just don't, a lot of people are just used to this and not this. It's just more and more. Okay. So I would be just checking out how many value Vickies, like, and how many documentation. The documentation could be even just like what you're doing with the food. It's like, yep, this is what I'm having. And then underneath, it's really important to, you know, ground yourself, because the root chakra is going out of balance at the moment with some really grounding, earthy foods. Boom. Just a little bit of a, and then people go, oh, that's a nice tip. Okay, thanks. You know, and then they're going to look to you as an expert or something, you know.
I don't do well with copy. I've tried lots of different things. I've tried learning from different people, and I don't know, not.
Yeah. So, okay, this is what I want you to do before you think about the copy then. I want you to visualize yourself as your ideal client, right? And I want you to go, okay, this is, I'm feeling this and this and this, and I wish that someone would just have, you know, something really simple for me, you know, and then what is it that you're wishing for, and then write to that person. Okay. And, you know, use the people. If you know and you follow someone and they just got amazing copy, see what it is. Study it. You know, what is it that you like about it? And then, you know, because that's how we learn as children. My son and my niece crack it all the time because my 5-year-old daughter copies them. I'm like, guys, that's how anyone learns. We don't learn out of nowhere. We see other people doing it and we go, oh, let's learn how to walk. Oh, let's learn how to do this. Doesn't mean that you copy them like per se, but you find people that you really like and you see what it is that you like about them. Start to do the reverse engineering on what it is that you like about their posts, what it is that you like about their lives, how are they showing up, what is it that's really capturing you? Because I guarantee you that if you're resonating with, there's other people that will resonate with you on that as well. And if you are then using similar principles, just like Tony Robbins will say, success leaves clues. So we've got to actually follow the success clues. Does that make sense? Yep. You don't want to take over someone's identity and start using everything they use. Like I always, when I train for like psychology, kinesiology, we always would ask for, and we'd always use the word divine intelligence instead of God, or instead of, you know. Yep. So I've always used the word divine, and I've always called my daughter diva and all the rest of it, like, because she's a bit of a diva. And then, of course, when I did English stuff, she's all diva. And it wasn't even intentional. I'd already using it, but I had to kind of stop because she'd already really coined all of that. And I didn't want to seem like I was like, oh, you know. So, I mean, it's not, so just be aware of that. You just, once you find what it is that you use all the time, how do you speak to your friends and family? Are there any phrases that you use all the time? Are you a just no nonsense, get straight to the point type of person?
Yep, definitely.
Put that there all the time. And then you might even say, I'm not going to apologize for being straight to the point. Ain't nobody got time for this, you know, whatever.
I don't do bullshit well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always ever since that meme come out with what's her name, Sherry Brown or whatever her name is, some lady. You remember that lady that was like, ain't nobody got time for this, you know, that one? Yeah, I always would use that. I use it all the time, and you know, so I always say that sort of stuff because it's funny and it's true. Nobody's got time for all that shit, you know. So if that's you, put that in your copy as well. I don't have time for all of the blasé bullshit. I don't go shallow, I go deep. You know, if you're like me, then follow along. I find it very difficult now to go out and interact. I mean, well, actually, we all find it difficult to go out and interact at the moment. But I find it very hard to go out and interact with people on a shallow conversation. I usually am like, yep, and then I'm like, are we going to talk about anything that's, you know, because, and I don't want to sound like, I'm just like, there's bigger things to be talking about here. I don't really get into the gossip and the crap so much. I even have to tell my husband off all the time at the moment because he'll come home from work, oh, this happened, oh, that happened, and I'm like, let it go. Don't, you know, I don't need to know all the, oh, did you hear someone got the virus here? Like, let it go. Ain't nothing going to help by you bringing it in and talking about it and gasbagging about it, and like, it's just not going to happen, you know. So it's that, just if that is you, bring that in through your copy. Okay, but you also need to understand to use some describing words to know exactly where they're at emotionally and mentally, and use those words in your copy so that you can grab them and they go, oh yes, Melissa knows exactly how I'm feeling. Melissa gets it. Melissa ain't got no time for bullshit. She gets it. She understands that life's too precious. She wants to go on and live her life, you know, with these values that are similar to my values. Okay. Have you done a story? Has anyone done their story when you're doing your videos? Have you done the video about your story and why you do what you do?
Yeah.
Because you can add that. Well, you can add that story. So if you do a 2-minute video about your story, you can then shorten it to like a 20-second part, and you can put that in all of your videos. Hey guys, welcome. Lovely to see you today. I'm trying to think what I do. I just jump on. Hey, going today, guys. It's Rebecca White here from Pure Abundance Coaching. You know, I'm here today because I wanted to address this, and this, and the reason that I do this is because of this, and this. So if you can add in your story in a few of those as well, people are going to start to hear it and they're going to start to resonate with it. Don't be frightened to be authentic. You know, I just got so sick of the bullshit. It was time for me to, you know, show up on a different level, and I decided to do it this way. And now I did it, right? So just be aware that you can use that story in a long version and a short version, and to use it in a lot of your videos as well. How about you, Elizabeth? What's going on?
Not a lot with this. I've been dealing more with the store stuff and rearranging schedules for the classes that we had going on, and are now postponed till we're hoping May. So it's just rearranging schedules and trying to deal with people who had already paid for the classes and the instructors that had planned their life around these classes and are trying to fight over nicely the days that I have open coming up. So we're not stepping on anybody else's toes. And
it's definitely a big change. Adaptability and flexibility.
Yes.
Biggest thing as an entrepreneur, isn't it? I had a conversation with a lady. I had a conversation with a lady the other day, and she said, "What is it you do?" I said, "I help entrepreneurs, you know, earn decent money and get leads, get clients, but I also help the you know, the invisible box." And I was explaining that, and she goes, "What do you mean by entrepreneurs?" And I'm like, "Well, people that are building their business, you know, and want to work for themselves." And she's like, "That's not an entrepreneur, that's a business owner." So now every time I talk about Abundance Inspired Entrepreneurs, I keep thinking, because she's from France, and she's like, entrepreneurs, and this is our word, entrepreneur, and you know, I can't do her accent, and she's like, that's someone that's got 2 or 3 businesses that they're earning multi-millions of dollars. And I'm like, I said, that's not the Australian or the American entrepreneur, that's just not it.
Maybe that's why everybody's so confused.
Yeah, they think that that's just a business owner, or you're just a coach or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not just anything, honey, but I didn't say that to her.
But it's funny. Some people will take like a Reiki level 1 class and make a business card and think they'll be millionaires the next day because they're in business. Idea. They're entrepreneurs. So it's just been a lot of reassuring everybody and trying to keep everybody positive and going, because a lot of people, this is their income. This is their life. So
is your government helping them out with anything?
Yeah, we've been working on different ways to keep them going and different things that they can do, because we're all on booking online. Yeah. So I've been giving them space to offer their offers online and do giveaways with them, combining their stuff with my stuff so that we're both getting the advertising and getting out there. So yeah, those are my days.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. How are you feeling with everything? Obviously, I don't know about you guys, but maybe a few days ago, the energy was really like this, and now it's like we're settling into the fact that this is what it is, and it's not anything to fight and resist. It's just the way it is. So we're feeling that. I mean, obviously, there's still stress and anxiety, and we still want to help people with knowing exactly how to nourish themselves and their immunity, and that's the number one thing right now. Like, just stress less and keep calm and carry on, as they used to say in the war. But you know, at the end of the day, how is that feeling like for you and the people around you once all this is sorted out? Do you feel like it's going to be able to settle back down?
I really think so. It's it's gonna, based on the classes they're planning and everything that's going to be going on, I really think they're going to be able to just take off, and it's going to be fantastic. The panic is starting, I feel like, to subside a little bit here. Yeah. There's actually almost no empty shelves in the grocery stores. People are actually being very respectful, and we have a 2-meter barrier where you can't be around people in grocery stores for 2 meters. And it's amazing. They actually tape lines on the ground so that everybody knows what 2 meters is, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling any panic. I know there are people out there panicking. I've been talking to them every day, but it's just a matter of riding it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that in America, I think you guys just literally hit worse than China or something.
I'm in Canada, thank God.
Is that Donald Trump just not doing his job properly, or what's like he's just
lost. He's so confused. Yeah. I'm so glad to be in Canada.
Yeah.
Well, and don't feel bad. We've got Scotty from marketing. I mean, you know.
Yeah, we want what's the New Zealand one again? What's the
We want
Jacinda,
Jacinda.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we want her.
Everybody wants
I think
Jacinda.
we all
That's
do.
the leadership roles.
She is actually really amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
she is amazing leader. And I mean, my if you didn't know, my family's half Kiwi. Then my mum's and my two older sisters born there, so I'm just claiming a little bit of that.
Well done.
So at the same time, the biggest thing to remember at this time, because this time it's actually crucial, and like I've said before, I've said it on lives. I'm not sure if I've said it again. I talk too much. I'm on lives all the time and whatever. But now is the time to actually get yourself out there. Now's the time to really show up, because it's exactly us type of entrepreneurs and business owners that need to actually show up now, because they need it. Not only does the whole world need it energetic wise to help up that consciousness. Actually, I'm just going to check in. What is the consciousness level today? It's getting up there again. That's good. Because it was really low the other day, and I was like, oh Lord, it's in general. So it is starting to climb a little bit, which is good. So, but at the same time, this is where we get to shine. And like I've said in the trainings, problem solution. That's all anyone ever does. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, you're solving someone's problem, you're giving them a solution. Right now, it's actually made extremely easy for us to know exactly what the problem is. Self-isolation, it's going to cause people to go a bit crazy. How can we help them to do that? Health, it's going to cause people to get, more sick. Whether it's this virus or some other virus, that's what I was concerned about more so as well. It's like, guys, if you don't calm down, it's not even the coronavirus that will get you. You'll probably get something else and die, because your immune system is overrun, and you're in a stress response, which we know is not healthy anyway. So educating them around that, educating them around what they can do at home, educating them around what is it that people are needing right now. How can they entertain their children? How can they, all of that stuff. That's what people are wanting. And so now we adapt a little bit. Doesn't mean we don't still have our stuff that we do. Right now, it is an amazing time for people to learn how to build a business online. So this 8-week course, I'll be running again. I have to look at when I planned it. It was going to be a little bit later. It might come a bit further up. So, online stuff is just absolutely crucial. And people are going to finally go, yeah, now's the time. I've actually got the time. Or, oh yes, I would really like a healing and I can do it from home. Awesome. Reiki, distance Reiki, all of that stuff. Very, very prominent right now. We could be, people are going, oh my God, I'm so quiet. I'm not making any money. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm flat out. Like I am so busy. And then trying to entertain children as well. But, so at the same time, you can use this, and it's an opportunity. Whenever there's a crisis, there's always opportunity. It's not about profiting off the crisis. It's about helping. That's what we do. We serve people and we help people. So this is our time to be going, yep, I'm here. I can help. What can I do for you? All right. So and really, if you want to meditate on it or do a little bit of a visualization, get yourself nice and quiet, or even just ask. Okay, dear Divine, can I have the most benevolent outcome to get me the exact way that I can help right now, that is also going to obviously give me some type of energy exchanges in money or whatever, because at the same time, everyone needs to live. So it's not like you're asking for too much. People are still selling high-end packages. Like Andrea, one of the ladies that Andrea works for, she's actually having an amazing month because she's selling face masks and this and that and, making millions of dollars. There are some people still making a lot of money. There's going to be nurses, doctors, healthcare professionals, people that work with disability, people that work with, the aged and elderly that are going to need a lot of extra support. Offer them a special. Do you want to have a session here, whatever it may be, So think about the people that are still actually earning lots of money, probably way more because they have to work way more. And what is it you can do to help them and serve them? Maybe you do a special offer for healthcare professionals right now, whatever it may be. Would you like for Melissa, you might do, can I do a hypnotherapy session? Or for the other Melissa, can I do a kinesiology session to help with this? And if you are a nurse, doctor, healthcare professional, and you actually have to work in this and you're stressed about it, let me give you a special deal. Okay, so there's different ways to, and that's not about profiteering. Again, it's definitely not. Everyone is always solving a problem, with a solution, and we happen to have just some of the best solutions right here in this room. right? So in this Zoom room. So now's our time. So in other words, use this really, really well, and use the time that you've got at home really well with, you know, spending time with loved ones or whatever it may be, but, you know, use it really, really well to just, you know, refine and just get it out there. And all these people that you might be able to sell like a smaller one-off session to, they go on your list. And then, of course, once this is all over, or even, you know, they might go, how can I work with you more? Or you can say, if you want to work with me more, there's some options here. Right? Don't forget to get testimonials either. I'm really bad at asking for that, so just don't forget that because it's really, really vital. Who else has got a question? What's everyone going on? Does anyone want me to have a look at their social media?
Yeah, you can look at mine.
Okay. Let's have a look. And, you know, and some comedy as well. So if you have some comedy and fun stuff, you know, once or twice a week, definitely be doing that because people need it. I know I'm finding some absolutely ridiculously funny stuff. Like,
oh my God, I have to read you what I saw today from because I follow him now because you told me, Maston Kip. Did you read this?
Oh yeah. What did he say?
My God, it was so hilarious. Let me find it because I literally laughed for like a minute.
Oh, he is good. He is good. Now let me just have a look here. I'm looking at your profile.
Yeah, while you're looking at it, let me read it. So imagine if 10 years ago you were approached by a time traveler and he was like, look, I don't have much time to explain. All I can tell you is that the year 2020 is going to be an absolute circus. You know Donald Trump, the star of The Apprentice? Well, he's going to be the president of the United States. And the beginning of 2020, he gets into a Twitter beef with Iran that almost starts World War III. Australia catches on fire and a woman tries to save it by selling pictures of her boobs. Kobe Bryant passes away in a helicopter crash. Half the world's devastated, the other half just makes messed up memes. A little time passes, and just when the world starts recovering from the loss of Kobe, some dude in China eats a raw bat and starts a global pandemic that specifically kills Mormons and Pawpaws. Everyone loses their minds. 40% of the population think it's the end of the world, 40% think it's all fake, and 20% blames the whole thing on cell phone towers and Tom Hanks's kids. The one thing everyone seems to agree on is that the only way to survive is by hoarding toilet paper. Grocery stores are ransacked, and Charmin Ultra Soft essentially replaces the dollar as the United States official currency. Eventually, as hysteria grows, world governments are forced to shut the entire planet down and lock everyone in their house. And the only person that can keep the people from completely flipping out and starting a huge riot is a gun-toting, mullet-sporting, homosexual Oklahoma man with a meth addiction and 180-pound tigers. I was like, imagine if someone come up to you 10 years ago and said that shit. You'd be like, mate, you need to check into a facility.
Exactly. Yeah, that is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, there are some people really making good money from this. Actually, she's finished her work now, but I actually had a client from the States that owned a gun store. He actually owned a gun store. And I didn't, like, obviously I work with all entrepreneurs and whatever, but I was like, she's obviously she was also awoke, so she wasn't, you know, all about that. But I was like, people are making money. I mean, obviously there's some crazies that are going crazy, but that's, you know, what do we do about that? Just try to stay away. But at the same time, yeah, I'm glad that we don't have all the guns and that over here. Oh God, could you imagine? Holy shit.
Yes.
Is it going crazy over there, Melissa, with that type of thing or not?
Not right now that I am aware of. Fortunately, I shouldn't even say that out loud because who knows what'll happen tomorrow now. But
yeah. Hey, I know. That's actually one of the things I've been grappling with. I'm like, it got to the stage where I'm like, I can't ignore it anymore because I was just ignoring it. Ignoring. So I didn't want to put it into my vibration. Didn't want to put it into my frequency. Didn't want to put it into the world. And then it got to the point where I'm like, I can't ignore it. It's like the Donald Trump thing. It's like, you guys, you can't ignore it because it's bloody everywhere. So you have to then, how can I be a solution to this problem instead of just trying to do, you know, the law of attraction thing and just going, nah. Oh, hopefully that doesn't happen. I also have a really good video that I will share with you. So your posts, Yep, so clear and connected. You shared her. Yeah, Jacinta. Yep, okay. Yes, good. Soul mode. Epic mic drop. Awesome. So an episode that will change your life drops tomorrow. Maybe you could even put up there like 3 things about the episode. What is it about? Tell me that episode that dropped. I haven't even listened to it yet. I've got to
You've
zoom
got to
in.
listen to it. All like women should hear it. It changes your life. Like
Awesome.
honestly, it does.
Have you got the actual link in here anyway for people to listen?
Yeah, so then I posted the next day. So should I post the link underneath that post there? Okay.
Yeah, remember that we want to make it really simple for people to be able to listen, to be able to watch, to be able to buy. Yeah. We don't want, and if you're doing, and they have to jump through too many hoops, unless it's a high-end offer that, you don't have any room left on your booking list for months. Otherwise, make it really simple and clear. Make it really easy for people to listen to. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Top 3 microphone recommendations. Awesome. You could even write something at the top there like, are you sick of hearing shit on your iPod, or you're trying to do it, not iPod, you're trying to do you're trying to do a podcast and it sounds like crap. Here are my top 3 microphone. Like something that, does that make sense? Like a little bit more grabby as well. So see if you can add a little bit of that more in as well. Tagged you in it. Don't let people tag you in stuff and approve all of it. Right? Don't let just anyone tag you and put it on.
No. What's up there?
No, there's something on there. It's fine, but that's just a little observation for anybody. Just about a family-owned farm. That's all fine. That doesn't look too bad, and it's good that you've got lots of yourself there. So sometimes, if you can, get outside and do some lives as well. Although I'm saying that, and I never actually. Oh no, you got one outside right there. Yeah, changing up the scenery. Awesome. That's really good. How are you going with that? Are you getting lots of people? Reaching out, or how are you feeling with it?
Yeah, I've gotten a few people reaching out, especially I guess since all this sort of happened, and yeah, so that's good. But then it's always like I had an example of someone that said yes and was like, yes, I'm on board, like I want to do this. And then this morning I woke up to an email from her, and I'm assuming something's happened. And because she was like, I have to review and sit and put this on the shelf for a second. So I was like, fair enough. Like, so, yeah. So I'll have to
Yes, yep, absolutely. And obviously at the moment we need a lot of compassion.
Yeah.
And so, normally I would say if people are not in this circumstance, if people are going, oh, let me hold off review, that's something that their own fear is coming up, and then I would actually almost try and call it out a little bit to a point. Obviously not pushing, but just going, okay, that's fine, but what's really going on here? Is it that you don't want to be successful? Is it that you don't want to? But right now, because a lot of people are losing their jobs and everything, you want to be very mindful, and you just want to be compassionate and go, look, I completely understand. Is there anything I can do to help you? All of that stuff. And, if it is just an internal fear about what tomorrow will bring, can I help you with that a little bit? Because right now is the time to be setting this up. Just be really honest with that. If it is like, I don't have the money right now because my husband's lost his job, cool. Okay, I get it completely. Is there any way I can serve you in another way that's, not necessarily a monetary exchange or whatever it might be? Just so A, you're offering service, and B, you're really showing because this is what you like, I'm sure, your authentic self. How can I help? As much as possible, and with clear boundaries. Okay, because again, we don't want to be running ourselves a little bit dry either. Okay, so just be very clear of that. The other day when I did so many healings, and then of course friends and family come around or wanted sessions, and I try to help, but then I'm like, right, boundaries today, boundaries. Don't want to get myself sick because I've been overdoing it. So if you have any other questions, guys, I'm going to leave this open, and I'm going to jump on. I'm not sure what time next week, but I'm going to jump on and do another Q&A and help you guys out once you've watched all of the next week and, do a bit more of that. But if you have any questions that come up throughout the whole process, just post them in the group. And then just so you don't forget and I don't forget, and we can go through them if there's specific issue. If you have a certain way of posting, like Melissa said, she doesn't feel good with copy. It never seems to be there. First of all, you want to lose that belief and don't want to put that out there anymore. Second of all, which I know is just being obvious, but you know, second of all, put it in the group and say, look, I'm not really getting anything from this. Beck, do you have any suggestions? And then I might actually go through it, copy it, change what I think needs to put it back up for you, and then you can do that. Like, I'm happy to do that for people and see how that works. And if that's still not resonating, then we tweak it again and we tweak it again. Again, if there's not a lot of people commenting in that, just check who is it that maybe you need to unfollow some people so other people can start to see your stuff. Maybe not everyone sees, maybe it's the same people seeing your stuff over and over and over, and they're like, yeah, okay. So unfollow some, unfriend some, and get some new people in your feed. And also email your list if you have a list. Okay. Who has a list here, like a CRM, a customer, or an autoresponder?
I do. I set mine up last week.
You did too. Did you use MailChimp or?
Yeah, who do you use?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I use MailChimp.
Okay. So that's something I would definitely do, Melissa. I'll definitely get MailChimp set up. Or you don't know how to do it, or?
I have no idea how to do it, and right at this minute, I don't even have the energy to try.
Okay. Well, what I might do then, I might ask Andrea if she can do a little special in here and actually go through a little, even if she does it and records it and puts it in here, like a bit of a training, okay?
It's so overwhelming when you type in to look up for something, you know, should you use that one or that one? Everyone says use this one or that one. And,
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I find that part of it very stressful.
Yeah, and the tech stuff, is that stressful as well? The tech stuff?
I just don't have the energy to even try and learn any new tech stuff anymore. I'm just over it.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing is that for this autoresponder, once it's set up, and you just have to learn, like, honestly, I was the same. It took me a while because I don't like that sort of stuff either.
Yeah.
But once it's set up and then you go through how exactly do you do an email, just like that. And you might need a couple of times to go with it, over it. After that, you do it, and it's a really good idea to do it every day just so you can get practice. You know, and once you've done it again, that's when you're building up that subcortical learning, and all of a sudden it's not too hard, because I was exactly the same, Melissa. But don't, if you're feeling overwhelmed at the moment and everything else going on, don't do it yet. But I will ask Andrea if she can do some sort of training or help to, what's the easiest one?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, what's the easiest one? How to easily,
that would really help.
Basics. Because
yeah, just the fundamentals. Yeah.
A full funnel of emails. You know, whereas set up a freebie, then it comes up with another email. If they say yes, it goes over here. If they say no, it goes over here. Andrea's into all of that, but we don't want that. We just want the basic stuff, right?
Yeah, sort of more working out what one to use and just the basics of actually getting it set up. Once it's set up, I probably will be able to go with it and learn more. But
yeah. I had to literally go through it and get Andrea to go through it with me a couple of times. And then we changed to Kartra, and then I had to go and learn it again. And Kartra's still, like, I'm not the best at it, but it's, you know, it's got a ton of stuff in there, so sometimes it's a bit confusing. But if it makes you feel better, everyone's like that at the start, everyone. So it is something that, yeah, once you've got it though, and you can just do a simple email every week, and you learn how to just do, you know, one email a week or whatever it might be, it's very, very, it's very satisfying actually. I'm like, oh my God, I can do this. Oh my God, I can do this. You know, so I was like, oh, I can do this. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I even can put links in there and everything now. And then I get a message from Andrew saying, oh my God, you made this spelling error or this grammar error. And I'm like, that's just me. I'm not too phased about that stuff, because I'm just like, hey, but I got an email out, you know. So, you know, at the same time, don't be frightened just to be you, and just once you get it going, just don't stress too much about it. Consistency is actually way, way more important than, you know, little good enough stuff. You want to start there. You want to start with just being consistent, and once a week or once a fortnight. I actually don't like, I'm very similar to you. I don't like people that have an automatic email thing where it literally email. I really get annoyed with it. So I didn't want to do that. But then Andrea's the opposite. She's like, no, you've got to do it this marketing wise. I'm like, oh, okay. So what I ended up doing was we compromise. And so I try to do once every week to fortnight, depending if there's a special on at the moment, or if there's a new launch, it's different. Launch is like an email almost every day. And obviously something special, and obviously all this stuff's going on. So you again, adaptability and flexibility is key, no matter what area you're in. Okay, I just got a message. I have another client soon. I forgot about that. Cool. I better respond to that. But what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to have another one next week. Put all your posts up. Put any questions up. I've got to see if there's a roadmap for a webinar, which I'm sure between me and Andrew we definitely would have, because we've both studied that book. It's really good. And also MailChimp, or there was another one that I used to use that was quite simple as well. Yeah, but don't worry about the fact that you don't want to learn it or it's overwhelming. It's like that for everyone, and we'll get through it. Let's work that out. Okay, guys. So although it's the week 8, I'm still going to be here for you because of the fact of everything, and I want to make sure you've gone through all the training so you have all your questions answered. And again, I'm here for you to, whether it's over or not, make sure you can always message me and ask me, and as soon as I possibly can, I will get back to you with that. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
That's okay. It's been a great journey so far, and it is quite overwhelming with the amount of content. And although you think, I think I've got it all, go back through it, because honestly, there's a lot of stuff you might not have picked up the first time round. And you can actually use this to go back through. It is the same process. No matter, you're tweaking, you're refining, and you just go back through the same process. Follow the same things. It might seem a little bit boring, and there's certain things that are a bit boring, such as, going live all the time. People go, oh, well, I've already talked about this, and this. It's like, we'll talk about it again, just from another light. Because you have to just keep consistency. Because
that's one thing I was going to say. Like, yeah, you can do that, because I feel like, I'll let you cycle through some stuff, but it's okay to keep doing the same thing. You just do it, like you say, with a different background.
Yeah. Well, you could also say, hey, I got the question again about microphones, and I just wanted to do a quick review for you. I've tried this one, and I've also done a lot of research, and da-da-da-da. So because not everyone's going to see, people assume, just like with the business card, hey, I've got my Reiki, I've got a business card, I'm going to be rich.
Mm-hmm.
And people are the same thing with us. We assume that everyone's seen all of our emails or all of our videos or all of our content. People have not seen all of our content. People have not seen all of our videos. People still don't know the basics. That 7-day intensive come because people were asking me, how do I even get leads? And I was like, do people know this? Oh my God, people don't know this basic stuff, which is not basic for everybody, but you know what I mean? It's like the fundamentals. So listen to what people are saying about it. For example, what are people saying about podcasts? What are people saying about, oh, really would love to do a podcast, but I have no idea where to go? Or, my podcast sounds like shit because I've got a crap microphone, whatever. What is it that they're really feeling into? And then answer that. That's their problem, so here's the solution. I've got a session for myself booked in a minute, and it's actually with a trauma expert, because it's, have you heard of TRE?
Who?
TRE. It's a different modality, TRE. So it's like a tremor response or something. I don't even know exactly what it stands for.
TRE.
I've never actually had it either, but someone recommended it, and I was like, oh, I'd like. Obviously, I'm pretty good. Like, I'm not too bad now, but obviously, I had a very traumatic early childhood, and I'm always working on me, as we all are. So I'm going to have a session in that in a moment. So this is going to be really interesting.
Well, let us know how you go.
Yeah, I'll let you know. There is a couple of other things that people go on about, like cognitive behavioral therapy and all these other things that, like, there's so many modalities out there, like it's crazy. But I love to just try things for myself, to see how it is and everything. So I'll let you know how it goes. This is with Emmeline Duncan, I think her name is. She's an Australian. And I think she's got a business called the Nurture Foundation, and she helps with trauma. I'm just So I'm like, okay. My friend said, you got to try it out. I'm like, okay. This is the other thing. If you actually have posts or whatever, is there any way you can message certain people in your friends list, family, and say, hey, do you mind sharing this post for me? Do you mind sharing this, or whatever it may be? That's another way. Or do you know anyone that would love this? Because I'm looking, if you could refer 3 people, because I am I'm the same. People, like my friend messaged me about this lady and said, oh, you've got to try this. It was really great. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've never heard of it. And then I looked it up and booked a session. Well, actually, I booked 3 because she had a 3 package. Like,
I better go. I've got to contain my 4-year-old because I can hear him doing something that I need to go and see. So,
it's going to be an interesting time.
Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I best go as well. We'll get ready for this one. But if you have any other questions, guys, let me know. And again, love to be able to help you out. Thank you so much so far. I'll be in touch. There'll be like a bit of a form to be able to fill out what you liked, what you didn't like. I'll really love your feedback along the whole journey. And, because again, it will help me refine and tweak so that I can help other people better. And just that's how the process works. So thanks, guys. Any other questions before we wrap it up? All good? All right. I'll speak to you all soon.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.